Yo guys, how's it going? We're back for another episode of FIFA 19 Career Mode with Bolton. Wanderers here, starting the new season. In the last episode, you would have seen that we did win the championship as we get promoted into the Premier League. And this episode will be literally just a few bits of transfer business and getting over this pre-season tournament. As you see, we do go into here, which would go for the European International Cup, I believe. So yeah, we'll just be going through the opening part of the season, looking at the transfer budget here. As you see, 34 million, which is not bad at all to bring in a couple of players. Hopefully, get some decent players in the squad, because the squad we have is not good enough for the Premier League. Let's be honest, but hopefully we can get ourselves on to a good enough start through this one as we play against Reading, one of the teams that we left behind in the championship. As Campbell in the 10th minute misses a penalty to put us in the lead, but Amiobi gets on the score sheet in the 25th minute, and Ilori there gets himself a yellow card. Myla also getting a yellow card there. A couple of substitutions as well in the mix as we try and hold them off, as Hughes gets himself a goal to make it 2-1, and in the 87th, Mylar gets his red card. And we do get ourselves the first victory of the new season. And like I say, it's all good to get them few wins in the pre-season tournament. It's always good to get as we go straight into the second game in the pre-season tournament against Truden. I don't know who they are at all, I ain't gonna lie. And Rusavalo puts us in the lead within 3 minutes in this game to make it 1-0, which is brilliant to see the boys getting in on the action. But De Bruyne gets himself a goal to make it 1 apiece. I don't think that's Kevin, but still. And Muscat gets injured in the 70th minute. But they do, in fact, hold off for the draw, which is decent for them, to be honest. And we only come out from a point from that one. But Heerenveen, who are the team that are above us at the moment, we do go into this game trying to beat them to come out on top. But they do take the lead within 23 minutes to make it 1-0, with Polly getting himself a goal. They look like a decent side. They were playing well at the end of the day. They were beating us, so obviously they were playing well. And Rusavalo gets himself back on the score sheet to make it 1 apiece. But Polly grabs himself his second goal of the game and makes sure that they come out of this group undefeated with 3 wins out of 3. And that win was away from home as well, so I don't know what to say to that, because we should have done better. But we do get an offer here for Sammy Amiobe from Saint-Etienne, and he was a player that I was impressed by last season, but wasn't at the same time. He just seemed like he was an on and off sort of player. I didn't really get into the flow of using him, and there was a few games last season that we did go out and just not bother playing him in. As you see, we do try and get 5.5 million for him here, as I think he's worth that, to be honest. Like I say, he is still a decent player, and they're only offering 2.85 million, which is below his value, and they want to add a sell-on clause, which I ain't interested in at all, which would go up to 4.65. Try and haggle that little bit of money out of them. They only go up to 3.15 for the transfer sum, which just isn't good enough for a player of Amiobi's caliber. I think he should be getting more than that. As we go back in and say 4.25 for him to go and leave the club, which they do go ahead and reject. At the end of the day, I ain't too fussed, to be honest, because he'll be a good player, still in the side, still using him. So I ain't too fussed whether he's there or not. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to use him. If I don't get the money that I want for him, he's still going to be used as we go into the semi-final of this competition. As we at this point are at 0-0, and the team that came out undefeated in the last one are down. But then they brought it back to 1 apiece, and literally nothing happening in this game until the 75th minute, where we go behind against a team that I don't know either. Like, we just didn't do well in that pre-season tournament, let's be honest. As we try and get a couple of our youth prospects that we've just brought out of the academy up in Morgan and Ward. as you see here, still trying to upgrade them, which we do exactly that as Morgan goes up twice in 2 training sessions there, from a 56 to a 58 overall in 2 training sessions, which is brilliant to see. And at this point now, he's a 59 overall, and he's still increasing absolutely massively. And Campbell, as you see there, does go up in an overall as well, which is decent to see because he is a player I definitely want to be using a lot this season. As we get an offer for Oztumer from Cardiff, which we just go ahead and reject completely, before going in for our first signing of the season, which is Papa Mende from Leicester City, my team. We were trying to bring one of my team players into this squad for this one. He's a player that I don't know. I like to make signings that are actually a little bit more realistic, if that makes sense. And this is a player that I could actually see like go into us, maybe like a lower club. He came to us when we literally just came into the Premier League, so it was sort of a normal substitution in a way, which we go ahead and offer a 5.5 million bid for him to go ahead and reject, and ask for 6.6, which is just over his current value, which isn't bad to be fair. He is only he is 27, which means he is getting on a bit, but he is a 76 overall, and he's a player that I definitely need to play the system that I'm playing. I haven't got the players to be playing in them sort of positions at the minute, and go for a 6.1 million deal, and they go ahead and accept it, which is brilliant to see. And as I was saying, going in for them players that we really need to improve the positions on, which is another one of those, is the centre-back and CDM position. Like I say, just trying to sign Mende, and then going in for Adam Webster, only 24 years old, 73 overall from Bristol City. Trying to use as little money as possible. Fair enough, we have a decent transfer budget, but the wage budget isn't the best. And they go ahead from the first offer we make and reject it completely, which isn't good, but at the end of the day, I can't argue with it. Before we go into another transfer here, for a player that I've never heard of before, he just looked like a decent player. Only 22 years old, 76 overall from FC Basel in Ajete, a striker. Looks like he's got a bit of a decent prospect here. Hopefully, if we can get him into the squad, it seems like he's got that little bit of pace about him. He's got a little bit of strength as well. So hopefully he'll be one of them players that is good at just getting the ball and holding the other players off. A bit like the Alba in our other series. If you don't watch that, then I recommend you go and watch that. I'm hoping he's going to be the same sort of style of player as that, but just better, basically. And hopefully we were going in for him here. As you see, they were asking for 15 million, which his current value is only 9 million. So obviously they do rate this lad. We go for 12.5 mil bid, but they do go ahead and say we want to take some time on the offer. Before we go into Mendy's contract offer here, which he wants a squad role, of a crucial squad role. I'm happy to give him that, because at the end of the day, he's going to be a crucial player. 76 overall, he's coming into the squad and going to be the best player in the squad straight away. He only wants a 2-year contract length, which is kind of acceptable. At the end of the day, he is only 27. By the time his contract's up, he'll be 29. So at the end of the day, it's not too bad a bit of business for a 2-year deal. If we want to bring him in for that little bit longer, say if we ain't got the players to compete against him or anything like that, then I ain't too bothered about like keeping him on for that extra bit, because at the end of the day, it is a lot harder to sign players in this career mode this year. And we were definitely going in for a couple of players here. Like I say, we were getting some decent offers, 29,000, which means he is taking a massive wage decrease. Like, even coming back to say only 32,000, that's still 14 grand off of what his current wage is, which I just was more than happy with. So I just said, you know what, I'll accept that. 14 grand off you're taking. I'll happily take it off. I'll happily take you for that amount. As they come back and say what they want for Ajeta. They do want 14.4 million. We try and take them down to 13.5 to get that little bit of money off. Like I say, we do still have to try and save our money, and they go ahead and accept that, which is brilliant to see, as he is a player that I reckon will be very, very good. Fair enough, we have Campbell up there, and like I said at the beginning of the episode, I do want to see him play a lot more. But if we can bring him in just as a, say, like last season when he came in and he coming off the bench and just absolutely pounding teams with his pace when he was coming on. Hopefully he can be that sort of player again this season if Ajeti starts playing well, as he wants a crucial squad role as well, which of course we were going ahead and accepting. Like I say, hopefully if he can come out this season and just absolutely dominate the sides, it'll be absolutely unbelievable if he can do that, as he wants a 4-year contract offer, which is not bad at all for a 22-year-old. I'll happily take that. They don't want a release clause, which I'm happy with, because at the end of the day, when you bring a player in, you don't want to be thinking about selling him straight away, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me to put a release clause on it. Before we go in and ask about the wages, he is taking a wage decrease again, about 1,500, which isn't as much as Mendy, fair enough, but at the end of the day, he isn't on the wages that Mendy is either, and we go ahead and accept that, which means that we do make 2 signings out of 2 in today's episode. And that is all for today's episode, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.